So the scenario we're looking at today is something that I ended up working with a client on a couple of months ago. And they showed me an example of a dashboard that somebody had built where they were able to dynamically compare, all of their business to part of their business. And you might be wondering, like, okay, well, who cares? What's special about this? So generally speaking, if I wanted to do something like, I don't know, let's see how my consumer sales, so this orange line, is doing compared to my corporate sales, that wouldn't necessarily be that difficult. But with a standard filter in Tableau, you're not able to do something like, say, I don't know, look at all of my segments versus just my consumer segment, right? You can't compare part to the whole dynamically like that and give your end user the flexibility to be able to kind of mix and match pieces. So let's say maybe we're even just looking in the central region. So an end user has a lot of control here using these parameters that they don't have with just a standard quick filter. So I'm going to do a walkthrough in this video about how to build that, and we'll go ahead and get underway here. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and just build the exact same thing I've just showed you. You've got two lines. They both display sales. One of them will display will be like a blue line that will display one specific region and segment, and the other will be an orange line that would display another region and segment. So here's what I'm going to do for this. I'm going to go ahead and start by creating a segment parameter. So I'll right click on segment, go to create parameter, and I'll call this my segment parameter dash A. Okay, so I'm just going to leave all the values as is and just add the value for the word all. So my first parameter now in my data pane. I'll duplicate this parameter. This is going to be my segment parameter B. They should be the exact same. We're just going to reference them separately in different calculated fields. Okay. So now I need to do the same thing for my region field. So I'm going to create a parameter. This will be region parameter A. And again, I'm just going to add an all value, bring that to the top of my list. Duplicate that parameter. I'll call that second copy region parameter B. Okay, so what I need to do from here is to create calculated fields that reference parameters A and parameters B. It's going to look something like this. I'll call this sales dash A. And I'll say if, and this is what it's going to look like, if my region parameter for A equals all, so if it's currently set to all, then just return my region field. Otherwise, give me whatever region is being displayed in region A and test if that equals a specific region. I'm going to leave that there for a second. I'm going to come back and explain it more here momentarily. I'll say and, in parentheses, if segment parameter A equals all, then segment, else segment parameter A. I'll say ask if that equals segment, then sales. So I'm going to pause here momentarily, talk about this in a little bit more depth. So here's what's happening. These parameters are going to be dynamic. My end users will be able to control these and change these. So say region parameter A. Right now, if I select all, that's going to be the first half of this if statement here. Tableau is just going to return the region for every row of data. So all that I'm going to say is, does the region equal the region? And that will be true in every single row of data. Like, yes, this value always equals itself. However, if all is not selected, so for instance, I've selected central, then what's going to happen is it's going to go, nope, all is not selected in this parameter. So let's return the region name central. And so now Tableau is going to go row by row and test. Is the region name equal central on this row? Nope, it's east. Is it central here? Nope, it's south. Is it central here? Yes, it's central. And it's going to do that row by row by row. So the same thing is going to happen for segment. So it's just going to test it. So this is not an approach that I'd seen before. It's something the client and I actually developed together. I've seen some kind of slight modifications to this, but nothing maybe as concise and straightforward as what you're seeing here. So that is sales A, and I'm just going to duplicate that and edit my duplicate. It's going to be really easy to create sales B now, because all that I need to do is anywhere where I've got a parameter A, I need to make sure that it's now referencing parameter B. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show all these parameter controls. So here are my A's at the top and my B's down below. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and got a worksheet partially built out here. So I've got continuous quarter on columns. And now what I'm going to do is take sales A to rows. Then I'll take sales B, drop that on top of the sales A axis. When I see these two side-by-side green axes, it's my indication that two measures are going to share one axis. And it looks like these parameters are exactly the same. So now as I change them, sales A is my orange section. So for A, I'm looking at all regions in consumer sales. And now for sales B, I'm looking at just the central region for consumer sales. I'll make sure they line up with these colors that I've already preloaded into the dashboard. So give me a quick moment here to be able to do that. Okay. And now I'm just going to go through this dashboard and make sure I load all those parameters for my end user to be able to interact with. I won't go into the formatting here in this case because I'm really trying to show more just function than beauty, I suppose. Okay, and then you can customize the titles if you want, but for now, there's region A, and yeah, this might cut out more than I'm able to do just now, putting all these parameters in. It's getting messy. I'll make yours prettier than I make mine. How about that? Deal? Okay. So that's the idea, of course, shorten your titles, make them look nice. But now my end user could go, okay, group A, I want to see the South region and how consumer sales in the South compared to the East region and how consumer sales did there. So what I'm seeing is that the East region typically performed better than the South region for consumer sales. But there are a couple of exceptions to that, 2017 Q2 and 2015 Q1. Okay. So that's where I'm going to leave you. Hopefully this was really helpful. It's just kind of an introduction. Like I said, we didn't dive into all of the details. But yeah, definitely practice that on your own data. And as always, let me know if you have questions. And okay, thanks for tuning in, and we'll be back with another blog next week on something.